Welcome to Property Development System Financial Feasibility. Guys, just before I forget, if you like the channel, make sure that you click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to share if you would like to share this video with your friends and family. So let's get into the video straight away. We've got financial feasibility. Before I actually go ahead and explain you what exactly is involved in financial feasibility, or I show you an application that I use for financial feasibility, for conducting financial feasibility on property development projects, let me first explain you a concept, and it's a very important concept, and it's the underlying basis of all property development feasibility studies. So make sure you watch this next video carefully, and don't forget to leave your comments. I'll read all of them, and if you've got any queries or anything, leave your queries in the comments and I'll try and answer them. So let's watch the video. So let's look at this table. What I'm trying to explain you in this table is the fact that if you look carefully, if you look at GRV, you'll see that it's 500,000 constant all throughout. Now don't look at the land value, look at construction. It's all constant all throughout, doesn't matter where you're building. Look at consultants, it's all constant all throughout. If you look at council contribution, now in this scenario, for example, it's a townhouse development, and it's a 4 townhouse development, for example, and so I put in 4% of land value, let's say. So if in Victoria, if you are usually, as a thumb rule, for council contribution, if you're putting 4 townhouses on a block of land, council contributions are approximately 4% of the land value. So that's what I put in over there, and see how that changes with respect to the land value. Now if you look at marketing, that also stays constant. Why? Because the GRV, which is the gross realization value, this is the value that what this means is, in layman's term, is the sale price of the unit that you are developing. So gross realization value is another term for the sale price. If you go down, and you've noticed that everything else stays constant. Now it does not matter where you're developing this, but the cost of construction and the total development cost will more or less come to be the same. Everything in the middle from this section down here is actually going to remain constant. What's going to change is your land value right here. Why? Now you say, why wouldn't the GRV or the sale price change? Now we're talking about one suburb, and we're talking about 3-bedroom townhouse. And if the market says that a 3-bedroom townhouse in XYZ suburb can only sell for $500,000, the market doesn't allow you to sell it for more than that. However, when you go and buy the block of land and you've paid more for the value of the land, see what happens at the bottom. If you got 500,000, you paid 120,000 for the land, you paid 260,000 for construction, 5,000 for consultants, and then you paid 4,800 for council. You paid GST, let's say 10,000. You paid marketing at 2.5%, miscellaneous, so on. Your total development costs were 432,300, and your total profit was 67,500. And your development margin was 15.66%, which is not bad. However, everything being constant, the more you pay for the land, the less your development margin is going to be, because there's no way you can actually, just because you pay $10,000 more for land, that doesn't mean you can sell your end product at $10,000 above the market, because the market doesn't allow that. So that's going to be constant. So every time that happens, you lose 2.72% of your profit. And as you go on, so if you pay $20,000 above the market, you've actually lost 5.31% of your development margin, and so on and so on. And as you see that if you pay too much for the land, say for example 180,000, you started going into negative here, and there's no viability left in the project. at all. So basically, a 10,000 increase in land value will cause an average reduction of 2.33%. If you look at the same example from a different angle, so let's look at this portion here. You've got GRV at 500,000, but if you pay more for the land, let's say over here we paid 120,000, but over here I paid 130,000. I've got to sell my block of land, or sorry, my townhouse or apartment or unit at 512,385 to be able to still make the same amount of development margin. So every time I pay more for land, I've got to sell it at least at that price. So what this table is telling you, that everything else remains constant, and everything else, if all else is the same and remains constant, anytime you pay more for land, you've got to be able to recover that in the end value. If you can't recover that, what's going to happen is you're going to start losing that much from your development margin. So basically your profit will start evaporating every time you start paying more for land. Now this is a very important concept. Honestly, I actually pay $35,000 just to understand this concept. So a lot of people know it, all the different valuers live by it, but a lot of people charge a lot of money to understand this, and today this concept is free for you. Thanks for watching the video. All links are actually in the description. If you would like to download a free resource, which is the free property development blueprint, you can do so from my website by clicking on free blueprint, and you should be able to download everything. So make sure you check out propertydevelopmentsystem.com.au and also the links in the description below. I'll see you next time.